Hello. How are you guys doing? It is like been pouring down rain. I noticed on my vlog last night, I called this air freshener, you know, I meant hand sanitizer. It is like, I had to break out the raincoat today because it is like pouring down rain, and I'm on my way to go get Tanya for the meeting. And I just texted her and I said, I can't even get to my car without getting soaked. And then it stopped for a couple minutes. Thank God. It's actually kind of like pretty, you know, like after it rains and it's like, I mean, it's like kind of like really dark over there, but like in the distance, it's like you can see it's kind of like breaking up and stuff. It's pretty. How are you guys doing today? Oh. Look at this. It's like flooding. Anyway. Okay. As long as it just doesn't rain anymore tonight, we'll be fine. Like, it's a whole lot more. I kind of like this rain, this weather for Halloween. It's October 2nd. And I didn't really do anything today. Like nothing. I made 2 videos. I wanted to do my Peter Likes Books video. I had like 4 videos I want to film for Peter Likes Books. I need to do, I need to do 2 book reviews. I need to do my wrap up for September. I need to do my TBR for October. I need to do my Spookathon TBR. And I can't believe this jacket fits me. It's like kind of smaller. And I need to do this Goosebumps book tag that somebody just made up and I got tagged in it. I want to do that. Like I love to do the Halloween book tags. Those are really fun. So, but I made a video about Logan Paul. I was actually going to make a video on Laura Lee today and I was like, I don't know. And then tomorrow will be the Shane Dawson reaction video. I may actually make 2 videos for, I'm kind of getting back, like I'm not loving the drama, but like I'm not bored of it anymore, if that makes sense. I'm kind of like, I think taking a couple days off and doing some different stuff on there. I will tell you though that I have a couple videos planned for my Peter Monn channel. I'm doing a fall favorites, and it's not gonna be what you expect. And I'm doing a morning routine video over there, and it won't be what you expect either. So I'm kind of like slowly changing that channel a little bit. I mean, I'm still gonna always do commentary on like YouTubers and beauty influencers and stuff like that, but I'm kind of slowly changing a little bit of it. So if that's a channel that you don't watch, you might wanna, I don't know, just check it out and see. I'll let you guys know if there's a video over there that I do that's not typical of what I do on there, because I know there's a lot of people that watch this that don't watch that channel, and that's, you know, that's totally fine. But if I do something different, like a morning routine, I have it all figured out how I want to do it. And I really wanted to do my pumpkin spice review today for my review channel, but it's been raining, so I wanted to do it outside. Now I'm like, if it's gonna rain the next 2 days, I'm gonna have, here we go again with the downpour. I'm gonna have to find another place to do it, and I wanna do some place that's like really bright. So I'm actually gonna reach out to Melissa and see if she can maybe do it, which means if that's the case, the first video will go up on Monday, or I mean on Thursday, definitely. And then what I'll probably do is post Thursday, Friday, Saturday on the review channel, because I want to put up 3 videos on there this week, and I've got the other 2. So yeah. Let's see what else. Alex didn't have to work today. Did I say that already? He had to go in for just a little bit this morning. So he's been like watching Ozark all day. We have literally hung around the house. It has been so nice. It felt like a Sunday. We went to brunch at Patashu. That was really fun because we never do that during the week, you know? And so we went to brunch at Patashu, and then I had an omelet, and I don't know if it's like my portion control or what I'm doing, but like I'm still losing weight. and I feel good. So I'm not hungry a whole lot. I don't know what it is, but pumpkin pie chopstick. This is my Cafe Patishu coffee. It was banana nut. I may just take my cup right into the meeting tonight and fill it up with a little hot with the banana nut, and it'll just be perfect. Oh. No, I don't think we're done with the storm chat. It is like, I'm gonna show you guys, see if you can see it. So if you see, like right here, it's like hazy over there. It looks like a storm is ahead of us. If you look over there, look at that. It's kind of pretty though, isn't it? And if you look out the side window, you can see where it's like, look at that, clearing out. It's pretty though. I right now look so much like my dad when I was his age. People say that all the time, but like right now, like I really do. Because I have pictures of my dad when he would like sail on his sailboat, like in rainstorm, like in like horrible storms, and he would have on like a raincoat. His wasn't, I don't think his was green. I think it was just like a yellow raincoat, you know, like a sailor's raincoat. But he'd always have like a trucker hat on and a beard. Coffee tastes good even all these hours later. So that was fun. And then my friend that I'm supposed to have brunch with later in the week, I was like, because I really want to get these review videos done. So I was talking to her today and I was like, she's getting ready to go on vacation to Palm Springs with her family. And I was like, can we just do it? I was like, when do you get back? She's like, I get back the 18th. And I was like, okay. So we scheduled our lunch for when she gets back. And, ooh, lightning. And, Boo Radley usually can't stand the storms, but today, he's just been laying there all day. Peter Brady. He's just been laying there in bed all day long, just right next to me. Sweet thing. They've all been very sweet today. PP is so happy. Do you hear the thunder? I love a good rainstorm like this. This is a good reading weather. PP's so happy his dad was home all day today. And, so yeah, what a good day. Did my prayers and my meditations this morning. Got those done before it started raining. So many people said I'm not supposed to do the Lush mask every day. So, okay, thank you. I won't be doing that every day. But I have to tell you, okay? Hold on a second. I gotta get this camera fixed. A couple people commented on my video when I was talking about my face being flushed about niacin, if there's niacin in the Halo Beauty Kiwi stuff. And I hadn't thought about that actually. I may have mentioned that in the last video I did somebody, because I think somebody had said something by that already. But I hadn't thought about that. But that would make sense of why my face was flushing. But like I can't think of a time I've ever taken niacin in my life. So it maybe would have a reaction that I wouldn't notice to it, you know? And I didn't look on there, but I did Google to see if the side effects of niacin, and it said on there that it would have to be in large doses though. So I can't imagine if it's like one part of a larger like vitamin that it would have that much. That it might affect me for like an hour in the morning, but I can't imagine it would affect me longer than that, you know? So I will tell you this, I didn't do a mask today. When was the last? Was it yesterday I didn't do a mask? It's 2 days in a row, and my face is not like that red. So I have a feeling it has to do with the face mask. That maybe it's like, people are talking about capillaries in your face and all this kind of stuff. So thank you for all that information. I have a feeling maybe the mask is like what's making my face red. I don't know. It's interesting though, isn't it? I mean, I took the Halo Kiwi Beauty Vitamin this morning, or pill, or whatever it is. My face is not flushed, so the thing I didn't do is the mask. It would make you think that, right? know you weren't supposed to do that mask every day. Now I'm kind of sad. But I can do a mask every day, can't I? I just shouldn't do that mask every day? I don't know. I mean, honestly, like, in the grand scheme of things, I go out in the hot sun with no sunscreen on. I know you guys can't stand it when I do it. I know you always lecture me about it. But in the grand scheme of things, it's like, which one's worse, doing a face mask every day or being out in the sun with no sunscreen on? And I do, like, I try to put sunscreen on, but then I forget, like, every time because I get in the water so much. So then I get out of the water, and then Alex is like, because Alex is like really weird about putting sunscreen on. He's like, don't forget to put sunscreen on, and 30 and 50 and all this kind of stuff. And I'm like, okay, and I put it on, and then I get back in the pool, and then I forget. I know, get waterproof, but that stuff is like Noxema on your skin. It's like white. I don't want that. You can't really see me right now, can you? Because I'm kind of hidden out in the dark. See, even if I turn a light on, it doesn't like really make a difference. So. I wonder what I'll hear tonight in the meeting that I need to hear. What time is that? I'm gonna be a couple minutes late to Tanya Jean, probably like 2 or 3 minutes. She'll text me in just a second. She'll say ETA. Oh. I told Alex, I said, I could continue just to lay in bed all day long. He's like watched so many episodes of Ozark. He's like almost done with, is there 2 seasons? I think he's almost on the 1st season. Oh my God, can we just talk about how excited I am for Alyssa Edwards' series, Dancing, I think it's called Dancing Queen. I am so excited about that series, you guys. I'm so excited, and I just can't hide it. So yeah, I gotta get all my booktube stuff together, and then I've gotta plan out, I know 2 of the reviews I'm doing. I'm gonna do the pumpkin spice review, and then I'm gonna do, I can't tell you what the other one is, because it's gonna be funny. I mean, it's a real, they're all real reviews, but I'm gonna do it kind of funny. And then actually, the second half of it, do I have it back here? Or did I, yeah, I do. The second half to that one I have back here. And then the 3rd review, I don't know yet. I bought a bunch of stuff. I have so many of my friends that swear by those Tide, you know, the Tide pens. So I bought the Tide pens, and I'm gonna mess up some shirts, and I'm gonna see if they really do work. So that's something I'm gonna do. Alex bought a new crock pot. It's like super fancy. So he was like, well, we could review this together. And I said, yeah, we could do that. It's like a rice cooker, crock pot, all different kinds of stuff. That's what he got at Target. And he also got a, when he was there looking for a onesie, he also got a, what do you call it? Oh shoot. A new filter for a Brita. Well, I don't use the Brita thing, he does. I don't really think it makes a whole lot of difference. I can sit there and drink tap water all day long, I'm fine. I know some people are like, you're not supposed to drink tap water. I'm like, well, I do. I made it this far in my life. I don't mind tap water, but I can't do well water. Like, well water is a lot for me. And I know, and it's not like anybody can do a whole lot about it if you live in a place where there's well water, right? But like, I've had friends of mine that had well water, and I just felt like you could smell it as soon as you walked into their house. And like, they'd have filters in their bathrooms and stuff like that. Have you known somebody that's had well water? I feel like I should be hungry, but I'm not really hungry. Hello? I'm on my way to your house. I should be there in about 3 minutes. Yeah. Okay, bye. Told you she'd be calling or texting. Tanya Jean. Somebody said in here, I was talking about where I was, and that I was like in Noblesville, and they had this like Genesis place, and somebody said, oh, is it a church? And it's right across from, It's right across from the Humane Society. And I was like, it's really close to that, okay? But no, it's not. And what's weird is I was like, are they talking about the same place? Because the place I'm talking about, it's like sits on the corner, okay, across from Speedway, and it says Genesis on it. And I was like, are they talking about the same place I'm talking about, the Genesis Church? And so like, the other day, I think it was yesterday, God, it might have been earlier today, I was somewhere, I was passing this strip mall, it was not the same one, but it said Genesis Church in the strip mall, and I was like, it said Genesis, and underneath it, it said some kind of church, and I was like, this is what they're talking about. There must be one in Noblesville too, right? But that's not what I'm talking about. This is like a car dealership or something. I don't know. I'll have to go by there and look and see. Maybe that'll be our adventure later tonight after I get my Diet Coke. Big Mac fillet of fish, quarter pounder of French fries, icy Coke, thick shakes, sundaes, and apple pies. But it's interesting the things that you don't notice. Like, even if you live in like a really small town and you drive around all the time, like, do you ever notice like you'll look up at something and you'll be like, I didn't even know that that was there. Like, isn't that weird? Like, all of a sudden we'll just like, there'll be something and you'll be like, oh my God, I didn't even know that that place existed. It's kind of funny, isn't it? You want to hear something weird about the last, like, let's say week or two on my vlog? Do you know what the the most viewed video vlog of mine is? The longest one. That's crazy, okay? That's crazy that the most views I got on a vlog was from my hour and 55-minute vlog. Don't even like know that kind of stuff. Like, I don't even go in and watch a bunch of that kind of stuff, you know? Like, I mean, I'll notice like, oh, I got this many views on a video or something like that compared to another one, but I don't usually go in. Like, if you're on like YouTube Creator app, you can see like your first 3 videos that you posted, so like that's all I typically ever see. Like, I don't go in past that, right? I don't, and I never go like in analytics and stuff. Like, you know, people that I used to talk to on YouTube would always be like into the analytics and, oh my God, how many watch times? And I don't really watch a whole lot of that. Somebody did ask though on my reviews channel, they're like, well, is this channel monetized? The review channel's not monetized. I mean, you have to like have so many subscribers. I think it's 1,000 subscribers, and then you have to have like 4,000 watched 4,000 watched hours, I think, and I'm not anywhere near that. But I do have that many subscribers on that channel, but I'm not worried about it. I'm doing it because I want to have fun. I want to do something different. And I think people think that because I'm wanting to do something different, that means I don't want to do what I was doing before. That's not it at all. And that means I would have given up BookTube when I started my other channels, but I never did that, you know? Right? You can have several interests. Didn't Glee teach us anything? You can be in choir and play football. Were you ever a Gleek of the Week? If you were a Gleek of the Week, put it below. I always wondered who those people were that got to be on the Gleek of the Week. Come on, Tanya Jean, we're late. You're on the Facebook. Tanya, it's not even raining. She's got a towel over her head. Why are you being silly?
Just in case.
All right, I'm gonna get off her. We're gonna go to our meeting. Bye. You want to say hi? Look at this towel she's got over her head because it's...
I'm incognito.
Incognito?
Whatever the word is. Because Peter said he couldn't get out because it was so rainy, so I just made sure we were prepared.
You have a Van Halen shirt on. Look at that.
Rocket.
Look at Tanya's Van Halen shirt. Isn't that cool? You said you didn't want to be on here anymore.
I know. Just get me off of it first.
Because everybody thinks I'm a big liar of the world.
Yeah, that's why I hang around you.
I was talking last night about, do you remember back in the day, don't say his name, but he and I used to go to the bingo home at the Moose Lodge?
Oh, yeah.
Do you remember that on Monday nights? And he wanted to be a bingo caller?
And I accidentally called him, butt-dialed him the other night. Now that's somebody.
Did he answer?
No.
Oh, we haven't talked to him forever. He was so funny. He was like, I'm going to be a bingo caller. But anyway, I was like on there and I was like...
Look at you, look cute. You're green.
I know, my little, it's because it's raining outside.
You got your little rain jacket.
I was like, we could just go to dinner, and I knew you were gonna be like, no, we're going to meet.
Where's your duck boots?
I don't have my duck. I do have some duck boots, though. Okay, you guys, I'm gonna get off here.
Leah.
Calling me out for my duck boots.
Where's your
They're
duck
not
boots?
duck boots. They're like, you know, the rubber boots that, goodbye.
They ain't no hunters.
Tanya Jean's leaving.
Night.
She got a Coke, I got a water.
Peace out, Girl Scout. Can I say that?
She just talked about the sewer. She was like, oh, that smell. What'd you say about the sewer? It does stink. Do you ever do that when people are standing right in front of your car, you honk at them? Bye! Oh, my husband texted me back. Let's see what he said. He finished Ozark, and now he's starting first episode of Cable Girls. I think he watched that before and really liked it. I'm on my way home. It turned out to be kind of a nice night. 69. Let me put this behind here, hold on. But it is real muggy. We had a really good meeting tonight. There were so many people there that I love. It's fun. I took my coffee cup from Puccini's inside and I filled it up. Tanya goes, that's why there's never any coffee left, because you guys always come in here with your coffee cups. I said, I never do this, Tanya. It was a good meeting. And then we went and she got a Coke and I got a bottle of water. And we sang the country music. I love the way you love me. So damn easy. Do you guys know that song? I love that song. Still feels like summer kind of out. It's kind of messing with me that it's October. So yeah. Pumpkin pie chopstick makes me think of Halloween though. We were talking about like Tanya and I first became friends. She and I were talking about that tonight when we were driving around, and it's crazy to think that it's been 22 years that we've been best friends. We were like at the counter, the guy that that's always in there, he was playing country music. That's how we heard that song, that, you know, love the way you love me. We were like, we had our arms around each other and we were rocking back and forth. And Tony's like, gotta put our lighters up like we're at the concert. Oh. One of my friends got 30 years sober tonight. Isn't that crazy? That's awesome. That's awesome. You know, when I first got sober, I talked a little bit about this last night, but when I first got sober, I would hear people talk about having been sober for, you know, 20 years, or even like 10 years seemed like, I'm like, they're lying. They haven't been sober for 10 years. Or, you know, who's sober for 10 years? Who does that? They didn't even have a beer. They didn't even smoke a joint. Nothing for 10 years. And I was sitting there tonight, you know, and I was like, watching him as he got his, you know, talked about it, and I was like, it's crazier to think that. It's crazy to think that like I'm closer to that than I am to when I got sober. Somebody told me they have veggie Whoppers at Burger King's right over there. They have veggie Whoppers at Burger King. Is that true? Is that really true? Because I would love to get a veggie Whopper and try it. Maybe I'll try it for my review channel. Somebody also told me that Pop-Tarts have gelatin in them, so they're not actually vegetarian. And I did not know that. So I guess I won't be reviewing them. But I don't know how to look at everything. So, you know, I guess maybe I just need to define myself as being more plant-based. I try so hard, you know, and it's like every time I eat something, and the comment was very, very nice. It wasn't rude at all. It was just like, hey, just as a fellow vegetarian, I wanted you to know we should educate ourselves. And I totally agree with that, right? But I was like, it seems like I'm always like wrong about something. I honestly do my best as a vegetarian that I possibly can, you know? When I was in high school, I had a really good friend of mine that was vegetarian, and her mom would like refuse to make dinners that were vegetarian. They had kind of a big family. So she would make like spaghetti with like meat sauce in it. And my friend would sit there and she would like, true story. I look back on this now and I think I don't know, I think it's interesting that like her mom wouldn't buy her food and stuff like that was vegetarian. And her mom was not like a mean person, but she would like pick the hamburger out of spaghetti. Like I remember her doing that. Which, I mean, basically, your spaghetti is still got meat in it to some degree, you know? And I feel like a little bit like we live in such a Puritan society that it's like, well, if you eat this and it has a little bit of this in it, then no, you're not a vegetarian. Well, I guess that's really defined by the person that's doing it, isn't it? Like, you know what I mean? Okay, so you didn't know. I mean, I understand if you go in somewhere and you eat a steak and you go, I didn't know the steak had meat in it. Okay, come on, let's just be for real. But I mean, I honestly did not think Pop-Tarts had anything in them. I a lot of times don't even know what to look for, to be honest. And I've like really tried to educate myself on it, you know, but. And then it goes to like, well, if I do it, and then people criticize me anyway, then why do it anyway? And then I have to think to myself, well, then why are you doing it? Well, you're doing it for you. You're not doing it for anybody else, right? So if I'm more plant-based and I eat a Pop-Tart and it, you know, okay, and you didn't know. So in the grand scheme of things, it's, you know. I gotta sit down and figure out all the books and movies I want to watch and read this month for Halloween before Halloween comes and goes. I didn't even know it was going to be there. Love the way you love me. It feels really, really late, but it's not. It is 9:53. My mom was alive. You know, after she would go to a meeting, she didn't go to like coffee and dinner a lot after meetings. She would sometimes do that before with like her sponsor or like her sponsor family. So a sponsorship family is like, you have a sponsor and then like the people that they sponsor, and then like, so that's your sponsorship family, and like their sponsors, your like grand sponsor and things like that. Well, my mom would go into a lot of stuff with her like sponsorship family. So I was looking in my head thinking about my mom for a second. But anyway, a lot of nights that she would come home from a meeting, I would like stop by her house because I had gone to a meeting too. And we would sit there and we would talk about our meetings and like, you know, what the topics had been, and we would talk recovery and drink coffee and stuff. You know, like I miss that. It is such a special relationship to have somebody in your family that you're sober with. And, you know, when my mom and I got sober, you know, in 94 for me and 95 for her, there was only a handful of people, you know, that like, it was typically parents and children. So there weren't tons of people, you know, that, and usually the parent had gotten sober first and then the child. So our situation was a little bit different. But now, I know so many people who like all of their siblings are in recovery, or like 3 of their siblings are in recovery or something like that, you know, and there's a lot of family, and I know a lot of like mothers and sons, mothers and daughters, you know, fathers and stuff like that with their children that are sober. It's like, that's a really common thing in recovery. And, I don't know, I think it's a really cool thing. You know, it's like something that, unless you've experienced it, it's just like you speak a certain language with that family member, you know what I'm saying? Like, and I feel so blessed to have had that with my mom. You know, just like on a simple thing, like, you know, like let's say if I was, you know, at her house and, you know, she'd be like stressed out about something that happened, and I'd say, well, did you inventory it? And she'd say, no, that's actually probably a good idea. I should probably call my sponsor and talk to her about that. And I'd say, yeah, you should, you know, and she'd say, oh, well, like, I'd say, oh, I'm kind of like over this meeting, and she'd say, oh, well, you should try this meeting and whatever. My mom and I actually made a rule when we both got sober that we were never gonna go to the same meetings together, and we never did, because we didn't want to be able to sit in a meeting and share something that would affect each other. So we never once went to the same meeting together in the same town ever, and I think it really saved our relationship to some degree, you know, and I think it was good, you know, that we didn't know that much about each other's programs. I mean, we knew what we shared with each other, but other than that, like, we didn't witness it from somebody else. And one of the things that was really cool was when my mom was in the hospital, so many people, from her church, my mom was very involved in her church. She did this thing for years called Kids Cafe, and the church that I grew up in was an inner city church, and I've talked about it on here before. And so she would do this thing called Kids Cafe, and it was for kids after school. It was like a free service for whatever age. I think it went into like early junior high, for kids that didn't have like parents at home until like a certain time. So it was like free daycare kind of, but it was like a cafe. Like they had food and sandwiches and all this stuff, and they did it free. It was all out of the church. And so she did that for years. And my mom was actually a member of 2 different churches when she passed away. And so people from both churches would come, and they were like just really involved and always there, and just, you know, they would read to my mom even when she was in a coma. And then she had all of these people in recovery that would come, you know, and like all of her, like, you know, sponsor family and stuff like that. These people that would come and, like, you know, read the text to her, like they would bring a meeting to her room and stuff like that, you know. And I just, the spiritual love that I saw surrounding my mom was just phenomenal. And when my mom passed away, I don't know if I've talked about this on here actually. When my mom passed away, her viewing was like long. It was like 4 hours. And I think it was like that long. But anyway, her viewing was one night and the funeral was the next day. When she passed away, Tanya and this other friend of ours, she's been in some of my vlogs, my friend Liz. She doesn't live here anymore, but they like contacted all the people that like were at that go to my home group, all the people that I've been friends with for years and years and years. And when I was standing in line, and my friend Liz stood next to me and held my hand the whole time, and my mom and my aunt was on the other side. When people came through, the first, like, I would say, easily 30 people were all people from my home group. Most of which had never even met my mom, you know? And that's just, like, what we've been taught to do. You know, you show up. One of my friends whose son was also sober had passed away. I don't know, it's been probably 10 years now. He was in the meeting tonight and he was talking a little bit about it. And I remember being at the meeting the day that it happened, and he came in, and it was just like the love that I witnessed, you know, that just enveloped this man. So when we talk about sobriety and we talk about recovery, you know, it has so much more to do than just not drinking, not using drugs, things like that. I mean, it has so much more to do than that, you know? It, like, extends way beyond all of that. I was going to show all the post office stuff that I got today. I'm like, okay, so this friend of mine, I went to the post office today. I ran into him, and I said to him, I was like, hey, how are you doing? He's like, good, blah, blah, blah. And I'm like looking over. He used to drive this, like, big SUV thing. And I'm like, what are you driving now? I don't see your SUV. And he's like, oh, I'm driving this Tesla. And I said, you're driving a Tesla? And he's like, yeah, it's 3 years old, but I love it, blah, 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 whatever. And I said, well, is it stick? Is it, like, automatic? What is it? He goes, it's all electric, or it's all electronic or whatever. And I said, oh, okay. I said, I am really wanting to test drive a Tesla for my review channel. He goes, why don't you just test drive my car? He goes, I'll just sit there and I'll film you and you can just drive it. And I was like, well, because I really think I should probably test drive, you know, like a new one. He goes, well, you can, but if you want to do mine, he goes, do that too, you know? And I was like, okay, that's actually kind of a good idea. And he's so hilarious. So I saw him today. I think, like, you know, there's this whole misconception with being sober, you know, and, like, people talk about work in a program. They always want to make it about steps, and it is about that. It is a lot about that, you know, I mean, it's a lot about the process of, you know, clearing the wreckage of your past and things like that. And a lot of it, like, you know, is about the other two sides, which are about service and fellowship, you know? And I have to say that in my time of being sober, like, I've gotten a lot out of service and fellowship as well. You know, it's not just about that. It's about, you know, service is, like, in helping others. You know, the service positions that I've had, you know, tonight, like, just putting up chairs, like, it's just not that deep, you know, but somebody's got to put up chairs, and so there was a bunch of us putting up chairs. We were laughing and stuff, you know, and I don't always put up chairs, so don't think I'm a saint. I'm not saying that. Like, many times I don't put up chairs, but I was talking to a friend of mine, so we were just putting the chairs up together. But anyway, but the fellowship part of it, you know, the friendships that I've had, the relationships I've made, you know, with people in sobriety, like, that has been, like, such a huge part of my sobriety. Like, I wouldn't be here today if it wasn't for that. Honest to God, I would not be here today. You know, if I just didn't have any friends in sobriety and I had been, like, going alone all this time, I think, first of all, I probably, if I had made it to the point, excuse me, of stepping out of the program for a while, I don't think that I would have made it back in. I don't know that I would have drank, but I think the chances of drinking and using, with not having the accountability with my friends, that I was going to see them or talk to them, you know, like, all of that is a huge piece to me. It's not just about putting down the drug or the drink. It's just so not about that, you know, like, the addiction, like, goes way past that. And, you know, I was sharing a little bit about my relationship with my dad tonight, and I was talking about, you know, like, we have a really good relationship, but at times, like, there's some tension there, and the tension confuses me because it's been so long. Like, I haven't drank or, you know, used in so long, and it's almost sometimes, like, it very rarely happens anymore, like, very rarely, but, like, if we're talking, like, sometimes I can tell, like, he kind of, like, goes into the, like, the old school mode of, like, how we were, and I don't understand it. Like, you know what I mean? And I'll be like, Dad, like, did I say something? He'll be like, no. And I can tell it's just, like, he's kind of, like, fighting off how he used to be. Well, I was talking to a friend of mine tonight that's been friends, or been sober forever, and he's, like, my dad's age, you know? And he was saying, you know, you gotta remember, like, he was like, so, my daughter was, like, in her 20s when I got sober. He said, you know, I believe that if I went to her house today, 40 years later, to see, like, how, well, she's gotta be, he's, I don't know, 30 years, he's been sober, something like that, 35 years, I don't know. But anyway, he said if I went to her house today and I saw how she runs her house, I could probably, you know, decipher that there were pieces of it from how she was affected by me, not just drinking, but how I acted, you know? And I was thinking about that with my dad, and I was like, you know, back in the day, my dad having to be like my rescuer constantly, and it's those kind of conversations, you know, that like, I just think, you know, like, I don't know, it's interesting to me that 23 years later, you know, there are times that my dad still, like, I think, struggles with knowing how to talk to me, you know, and he really gets addiction. My dad has really, really educated himself on it, you know, and he'll even look at me and say, did I say something wrong? And I'll say, no, Dad, like, you can ask all the questions you want to ask, you know, it's like, you know, ask what you want to ask about it. You don't have to feel like, I mean, hell, you've been, you're the only person that's been there with me now for my entire life, you know? My dad's a really good guy. Trunk or treat? I feel like I talked about this on my vlog last year. It's like this church. Do you guys have these in your town? And then they, like, people can park their cars and you can trick or treat. Like, you can bring your kids there to trick or treat, like, from the trunk of your car. And that way there's, like, nothing dangerous there. But do you ever, like, how do they know? Like, do people still, like, worry about this whole, like, razor blade stuff? Like, do you remember when that was going around for a while? Like, all of that? Is that still, like, a fear of parents and stuff? Do you still check your kids' candy and all that? That's scary. That was, like, a real thing for a while when I was, like, growing up. But I also don't remember, like, our parents, like, we would always go in groups trick-or-treating. Like, when I was younger, my dad and, like, other dads in the neighborhood, they would take us trick-or-treating. But, like, as I got older, like in late elementary school and stuff, I remember, like, just us going as groups of kids together. And I don't remember, like, we just live in a different world, I think, today, but I don't remember my parents giving me real strict boundaries on, like, where I could go and where I couldn't go. You know what I mean? We always went to the neighborhoods that had, like, the big chocolate bars. That's where we were going. Y'all, you know what I'm talking about. You wanted to go to those ginormous houses because you heard that they give big chocolate bars. Then you get there and they give you, like, an apple or something like that. Or a toothbrush. That's, who does that? Don't give that shit out. Kids want candy. That's what Halloween's for. If you're gonna give a toothbrush, you might as well not give anything. That's the worst Halloween trick. That's a trick. That's not even a treat. I think you're doing some kid a favor, giving him a toothbrush. I don't remember getting toothbrushes back in the day, but it stopped. I was at 23 minutes, if you didn't realize. It just stopped on its own. Bum, ba, bum, ba, bum. Toothbrush, apples. I'm gonna pull into this gas station and call Alex and tell him that I'm gonna vlog for a little bit more before I come home, since he's watching TV anyway. I was thinking about maybe doing a live stream tonight, so I don't know. This is kind of the muggy weather that I like where it's muggy, but it's cooler. I don't know how to explain it. You all see I don't need my coat on anymore. It stopped raining. We got out of the meeting. Tanya said, why are you still wearing that coat? I said, I don't know. She goes, well, it's warm out. Why are you wearing that coat? I said, well, it might start raining again. She's like, it's not going to rain anytime soon. Take that coat off. Aren't you hot? Boston Market. Have you guys ever been to Boston Market? Oh my God. I didn't even know that they existed until like a couple weeks ago, and I was driving by there and I was like, is that Boston Market still here? I love Boston Market. Okay, I'm gonna pull into this gas station. This is the gas station I always stop at. And I'm gonna call Alex and I'll be back in just a second. Okay. Alex said, okay. There are so many different buttons on my camera. There's like one right here. I don't even know what it is. But every time I touch my camera, like something different happens. So, I don't know what it is. It's driving me nuts. Oh well. I like kind of have to go to the bathroom, and I'm like, should I go in this speedway and go to the bathroom, or just keep on doing my vlog? I think I'm just gonna keep on doing my vlog for a while. Convenience store, speedway. I'm trying to, like, I've been talking a little bit about my weight on here and like having lost weight, and I don't know, you know, like my husband and Tanya are like, well, is it stress? I'm like, I don't know, maybe. I mean, it's not like I like been doing a lot of portion control, so I don't eat as much. Like today, like when I went and had like breakfast, I had the omelet and I had potatoes, but I only got a half order of the potatoes, and I got a bagel, but I only ate half the bagel. And I ate it earlier in the day, you know? So I don't know what it is, but I'm the thinnest I've been right now. Well, I'm not, like, I'm not thin, but I'm the thinnest I've been in over 3 years. And, but that year I kind of went up and down, up and down, up and down. So after that, I was a lot thinner at times. So, but, I'm trying to do portion control, drink lots of water. But it's not like I'm doing any kind of like true healthy like weight loss, or I don't know. I have a neurology checkup coming up, so my neurologist is always very concerned about my weight, so I'm sure that's something we'll talk about. He'll probably be happy that I've lost some weight. I feel better. I feel like stuff is like fitting me better a little bit. Some of the, I mean, I haven't lost that much weight, so like my shorts and my jeans are fitting me a little bit better. But like my shirts are still fitting me the same. So, I mean, I think you have to like, what is it, like 20 pounds? I saw this thing one time. It's like 20 pounds for you to tell a difference, 30 pounds for somebody else to tell a difference, and 40 pounds for a size or something like that. That's got to be way off, doesn't it? I can't imagine that 40 pounds for that can't be a size. Is it 20 pounds a size? And then, hold on a second. I'm like in my head. I ain't ashamed to say what I am. I'm like, today I weighed myself and I was 229. And I have fluctuated between like 235 and 250 for the last couple years. With my ex, I was over 250, which is super heavy for my size and not healthy. And I'm not ashamed to own it. Like, you know, for me to get on camera is like very much me being accountable for it. And but so I really started my diet at like when I really was like, okay, I'm gonna lose some weight. I was like 245, 246. All I know is that I do that my weight loss pal, or whatever it's called, my fitness pal, and it told me that I had lost like 15.6 pounds, because it said congratulations, you've lost something like that. So I don't know what that is, but whatever I was when I was starting. That was yesterday, I think, so I've lost a little bit more than that today. I don't know how much. Let's just say I started it at 246, and now I'm, what is that, 17 pounds, something like that I've lost. I would love to be, you know, running again and back to like 170, 180. If I could get there, I think I would, like, that would be where I would be happy, you know? I will say one thing, like, that's changed a lot, and I know people say don't eat really late at night, but you know, a lot of times when I would do my vlog, I would come home and I would watch like an episode or two of like Wentworth or whatever. Or before that, I don't even, what was I watching before Wentworth? I don't even remember. But I would sit there and watch it, and I would, like, whatever extra food I had, I would like make a peanut butter sandwich, or, you know, have this or have that. And I'm not doing that like anymore. So, I mean, have I done it? Yeah, but I'm not, you know, doing it like I was back then. And there were a lot of nights that I was going through McDonald's and I was getting, you know, egg and cheese sandwiches and hash browns, and I'm not doing that anymore. And so I don't know, maybe it's just little things like that that have been cutting it out. I've been drinking so much water too. I think that probably has a huge part to do with it. But now I need to start getting active. That's the next step. So maybe tomorrow night I'll go out and, I say this so, and then I don't do it, walk or start to run. Well, like I say, awareness is always like the first part of that, right? So, trying to be aware of it. But I haven't, like, been eating super healthy, but like yesterday I went and I had the grilled cheese and the corn chowder and coffee. And then I had two, like, I think, I don't know how many, 2 of these spicy bean burritos, but they were like healthier ones. And then today, I haven't eaten since we had brunch at like noon. And I don't know, maybe that's it, you know? Eating earlier in the day, your metabolism works that stuff off. Maybe a lot of it has to do just with my eating pattern of when I eat, you know? I don't know. I was talking to my friend the other day. She lives in Zionsville, and I said, I can never get through Zionsville anymore because that road is closed. She goes, oh, no, you can get through there now. It's open. I said, it's open? She said, yeah. And I said, oh, I can, because if you guys see me, like those that know Indianapolis, I come down here and then I have to turn around because I can't get through Zionsville. So tonight, we're going to try and see if I can get into Zionsville because I want to see if it's decorated for Halloween at all. I think, like, if I could get, like, below 220, 218, well, I don't know. Maybe I've been thinner than this. I feel like when we went, maybe I just wasn't putting it in my Fitness Pal. I don't know. But I feel like when we went to Miami this year or last year, I was thinner than this. But it doesn't say it on my Fitness Pal, so, because I went through and I looked for like the last 2 years. But like, there can be months that go by that I don't put my weight in there, and right now I'm being very conscious about it. But 218 is the last weight that I was able to wear my ring, my wedding ring, and my wedding band, and my, like, we had matching engagement bands. So if I could get below 220, like, for me, that would be a big, big deal. Oh, if I could just fit into my ring again, I'd be so happy. And I know people are always like, well, get your ring size, but I think, like, for me, it's more about just getting my ring size so that it fits me. It's also about, like, so if you've ever wondered why Alex wears his ring and I don't, it's because my finger is too fat and it won't fit. And I don't want to get it sized because then if I lose weight, which I've been saying forever, then my ring won't fit. So I'm sure I'm not the only one out there that struggles with this. And I don't know. You know what's weird is that I always make a conscious effort to lose weight and then I don't. And now that I'm not making like a super conscious effort, I'm just doing a little like portion control. Like if I stop eating when I'm not hungry. And like if I'm full, I stop eating, which I didn't do before because I'm just like, I love food. I haven't been snacking. You know, I might have like, I bought these cookies that, you know, I showed it on here about those cookies. Like I've had like, the other night I had like a half a cookie while I was doing a live stream. That was it. Like I haven't had any of those cookies since, partly because I don't like them. But, you know, I don't have to like be snacking and doing all that stuff anymore. I just don't have to, you know? So, I don't know. I'm just like more thoughtful about things, but I'm like not consciously, like I didn't go into this and think like, okay, I want to lose 60 pounds. I just started doing things a little bit different. And I don't know, maybe that works for me now in a way that it didn't work for me before. That I'm just more conscious of my eating habits, if that makes sense. So maybe it's the lack of pressure of me saying, like I haven't not, like if I want to eat something, I eat it. You know, like I don't go to brunch and go, well, I'm not going to have a grilled cheese sandwich because that's like, you know, I eat it. And then if I finish it, I finish it. And if I don't, I don't. I don't make myself feel bad about it. And then today it was like, well, I got there and I was hungry, but I wasn't like super, super hungry. And so that's why I ordered less potatoes and didn't finish my bagel. I was just like, I'm done. Like I'm, you know. So sometimes it's hard though. You know, like, if you're younger, this did go through, I got through. So anyway, you know, people would say, well, wait till you get older and your metabolism slows down, wait till you get older and your metabolism slows down, and I didn't really believe it. It's like a true thing. Like, you do get older and your metabolism slows down. Like, it's a real thing. And I don't even know really, like, when it hit me. I would say probably, 39, 40, I would say, is when it kind of like started hitting me. Because before that, I could just eat whatever I wanted to eat, you know? But I was also working out pretty actively, you know, like, okay, so Alex and I got together when I was 36. What I was going to say was it's hard sometimes because, like, Alex can eat whatever he wants to eat, you know? And it's like he doesn't really gain a whole lot of weight. And he did that whole weight loss thing, but he didn't even really need to lose any weight, you know? But Alex and I were talking about this the other day, like, you know, when we got together, I was 36. Well, for that first, like, 2 years that we were dating, that first 2 years, like, every day after, like, work and stuff, we would, like, go work out, like, every day. And, like, once on the weekend. And then we would go eat after we worked out. We would actually just past this restaurant today, this Bar Louie place. We would go there and get chicken Caesar salads. And so, you know, I was eating like a small lunch, and then I was going and I was, you know, running 5 miles on a treadmill and lifting weights 3 to 4 times a week. And so, yeah, I could probably eat whatever I wanted to eat, you know what I mean? Oh my God, we used to go to Steak and Shake. If you guys have Steak and Shake where you live, you know it is to die for. I love Steak and Shake. So anyway, Steak and Shake's kind of like a diner, but it's a chain. And we would go to Steak, this whole strip mall looks new to me. Am I crazy or is that new? So we would go to Steak and Shake and we would get like each a bowl of chili. They have some of the best chili there. And we would get tons and tons and tons and tons of oyster crackers. Alex still does, he gets that. Like today when we went to brunch, he got if you go to Patachou, he loves it. But they have turkey chili there. I mean, I don't need it because it's turkey chili. They also have great soups like tomato basil and stuff. So anyway, is that my phone ringing? Nope. What was I gonna say? Shoot. See how quickly I forget. Oh, we would go to Steak and Shake. Okay, so we would go to, how did I remember that? I don't know. Wiggled your toes and you'll remember. So we would go to Steak and Shake, and like after we would go out, because we were going out a lot, you know. And Thursday nights, we would go salsa dancing. Friday nights, we were going to, I think it was some drag shows. Saturday nights, we were going out with our friends. Sunday nights, we went to drag shows a lot, or we would go to movies and stuff like that. We were going out and we were like really active when we first started dating, like really social. And so we would go to Steak and Shake afterwards on the way home from whatever we did, even if it was just a movie. And we would each get a bowl of chili, huge bowl of chili with tons of croutons. Alex still, like this is what I was saying, at Patashu, he gets turkey chili. And they literally bring him out a bowl of the croutons. And it's like that like French bread. I think theirs is just like whole wheat bread, but it's like with butter, and then they like toast it and then they cut it up. Because he loves the croutons there. They laugh, they're like, oh, you want a side of turkey chili with your croutons? Because he gets so many croutons. But then we would each get Frisco melts with fries, and then we would like, and sometimes I would get onion rings, and then we would split an order of chicken fingers back in the day. Oh my God. And sometimes I would get a shake because they have the best shakes in the entire world. I didn't see one Halloween decoration. I'm super sad now. My friend was telling me that she doesn't live in, it's called The Village, the Zionsville Village. She was telling me that she has this magazine, and so like every time a house goes for sale in the village, because they go so quickly like that, she gets notified of it, and she's like, I found this house that I want. She's like, oh my God, you can see right into that house, it's adorable. She's like, I really want to move into the village because then we can just walk everywhere. So this is where I'm at right now, the village in Zionsville. It's adorable. I've shown a lot of this on my blog, but here, I'll show you a little bit if you haven't seen it before, but it's dead here. It's like, look how dirty my windows are. It's brick streets, and then they have all of this along the side here, and they have little restaurants and little stores. There's like this rare bookstore that I always want to come to. Oh, there's some Halloween decorations. So isn't this so cute, this town look? I mean, look at that. Noah Grant's, I suppose, is like this great restaurant. I've never been. But isn't this adorable through here? Look at this. These people are coming out. It's probably my friend. See how cute that little place is? Okay, let me turn this around. Okay. Nope, not my friend. But it looks like a bunch of friends coming out of a restaurant. I love these little brick streets. I would have loved to have lived in a neighborhood like this when I was growing up, and walked to the library and gone down and got ice cream and stuff like that. Kind of really reminds me a lot of Saugatuck, which is where my dad kept his boat when I was growing up, which now is like bed and breakfast, and it's gorgeous. It's like they've done such a nice job like redoing it and stuff like that. I've heard it can be like very, very like, lots of like gay guys go there in the summer. It's kind of like the Providence of the Midwest is what I've heard, but like some of the hotels and stuff look beautiful. Some of the shops look beautiful. I haven't been up there in years and years and years, but I've had a lot of friends of mine that go up there in the summer, and the beaches up there are gorgeous. But when we used to go there, it was just like a towny town, you know, Saugatuck was, and but it had like brick and cobblestone roads, and we would walk around and get ice cream. You know, they'd have like ice cream right next to a bake shop and stuff like that. It was fun. I miss all that. It was a fun way to spend my summers when I was growing up, you know, on the lake like that in a boat, sleeping on the boat, you'd rock back and forth. I can still remember that, and you know, like the next week you'd be at home and you can still feel like yourself kind of rocking. Did you ever sleep on a boat? If you've been on a boat a lot or slept on a boat, you'll know what I'm talking about. And that kind of mildewy smell of an old boat, like when you have an old boat, you get that mildewy smell from like being closed up all year round and then opening in the summer. And like my dad would sleep in like the V berth in the back, and then I would sleep like in the couches up front that we like, because it could be made into a bed. And I can remember like laying there and falling asleep at night, and you could hear like the clanging of the other sailboats. At the marina that my dad kept his boat at, one side was all sailboats. So like where my dad was, his partner, his business partner, had a boat there too. And he kept it on call it, on the other side, because it was well, for a period of time they had a sailboat, but then they got rid of their sailboat and they had like this huge crisscross, like 50-foot, it was gorgeous, boat. And it was on the other side where like the speedboats and stuff were. People had those, I think they're called cigarette boats, like those real fast like motorboats. You'd see them like out on Lake Michigan and stuff. But anyway, I can remember sleeping in like the boat going back and forth, and you could hear like the clanging of like the, you know, and sometimes when it would storm really, really bad, it never occurred to me really like I was on the water. I don't know why. But then like the next day, like you'd have to like, they'd have like the little bathrooms with showers and stuff, so we'd go up there and take showers, and then the marina had this little restaurant. You'd go in there and you'd eat breakfast, you know, and you'd get your little eggs sunny side up, or pancakes, or, you know, toast, and dip it in your eggs or whatever. Those were fun summers. It's weird to think that summer's over already. Feels like I was just driving around talking about summer, and now it's October. How long have I been vlogging? Okay, so it's 20 minutes. So let's see, 28. Something smells like a gas pipe broke or something. It doesn't smell good. Did you hear Tanya talking about the sewer? She's like, I think the sewer pipe broke down the street. And I go, well, it stinks. And I was thinking about, because somebody was like laughing on the comments of my vlog, and they said, Peter, they said Peter put his, I was going to say something, hold on. I was going to say, they said, Peter said, oh, something stinks, and he put his head out the window to smell it more. I was like trying to figure out where it was coming from. Somebody on here, I cannot remember who, wanted me to wish their 1-year-old a happy birthday. So, since I'm sure that your 1-year-old is waiting desperately, go watch my baby birthday party rant. Oh my gosh. But anyway, anyway, so whoever you are, I think your child's name is maybe Ike or something. I can't remember what, somebody, Drake or Ike or something. But anyway, happy birthday to your 1-year-old. I'm sorry that I missed it. It was like yesterday I was supposed to say it, or the day before. So happy birthday. I hope you guys had a wonderful first birthday party. Does anybody remember their first birthday? Can somebody tell me that, please? I don't even remember like what my very first birthday is that I remember. We used to go to Kings Island. I remember going to Kings Island as a kid, and I can remember that. And I remember one year going with my mom and dad. So I would have been like 6 at that time. 6 or 7 maybe. So I can never remember when my parents got separated. I said something to my dad. He was like, you were 10 when we got divorced. I was like, I was not 10. I was not that old. So I don't know. I was 6 or 7 maybe. The first birthday that I remember. But then, you know, you wonder too, like, if you, like, have you ever wondered if you actually remember something or if it's a picture? Do you know what I mean? We were going to our counselor the other day. And my husband, he doesn't believe in anything spiritual, anything psychic, nothing whatsoever. I just always get these gut feelings about things. I just do. And so I was like driving around on our way there, and I started thinking about our counselor, and I was like, I think it just stopped again. So I was thinking about him. I was like, I think he played soccer, and he was going to go play in college, but then like it changed his whole direction of what he was going to do because he had like some kind of like back injury, right? And then all of a sudden I was like, he's going to have a son, and he needs to tell his son to play soccer because his son is going to be like a really good soccer player. So we had never talked about him playing sports or anything. So we're sitting there as we went in there the other night. And I've done this to him like, I don't know, 2 or 3 times. And I said, we're sitting there and I said, can I ask you a question? And Alex goes, oh no. He knew it was gonna be something like that. And our counselor was like, yeah. And I go, did you play soccer like in high school and you were gonna play in college? Like you were looking at schools to play soccer, but you got like a really bad back injury? And he goes, don't start doing this again. And I go, what? And he goes, yes, that exactly happened. And I go, okay. I said, well, one of your children, I think it's going to be a son, is going to play soccer, and you need to really push him to do that because he's going to be like, play like almost professionally. He's like, no, you're freaking me out. Don't do this. Alex goes, he does this to people all the time, and he always nails it. I'm like, I don't know. I just get these gut feelings about things. It's so weird. So I think for Halloween this year, I'm going to start doing psychic readings of the world. But then, you know, I was like thinking about like who the people are that I like always get gut feelings about really the most. Like, ooh, look at that Indy Scream Park. It's got a clown, a scary clown on it. That's like one of the big haunted houses. I will not be doing that. But anyway, I was thinking about the people that like I always can like have gut feelings about, other than like people. YouTube is like, that's not about being no psychic. That's about watching trends. I just see trends and I'm like, okay, this is what's gonna happen. I mean, usually it's like I have a gut feeling about a trend, but like it's not, does that make sense? So anyway, but typically the people that I feel it like are about like his mom, his grandma, and like our counselor. And sometimes with Tanya. And I'm like, you know, the common thing with all these people is that I really, really trust them. And I'm like, I wonder if that has something to do with my gut feelings. And I don't know if I necessarily, I believe we all have a sixth sense to some degree. Do you guys believe that? We all have like a gut intuition about things, a sixth sense. And sometimes we can't even see it with ourselves, we can see it with other people. But like, if you're driving and you're like, and let's say if there's like 2 ways to get home and you're getting ready to go one way and your gut says no, go the other way, try it and see what happens. I can't tell you how many times I've gone against it and I've had to sit in traffic for a half an hour. Has that ever happened to you? Well, that's your intuition, and I really, really believe in that. And I think it's a lot about like, you know, harnessing your intuition. I don't know how to do that, but if somebody could teach me, I would really like that. I think that would be cool. How long have I been vlogging now? Okay, 24 minutes and 24 is 48. Because I ain't got my glasses on, I can't do math. And then how long did I vlog before on the way to Tanya's? Like 20 minutes? So what is that? That'd be an hour and 8 minutes? And then I don't know the rest. 9, 10, 11. So, yeah, this is a long vlog. Another long vlog. You guys seem to like the longer vlogs. And I haven't even like gone home yet and spent time with my husband. So when I get home, his TV shows are gonna be done and we can hang out and the vlog will be done for the night. I love vlogging. It's so much fun for me. I don't think you guys have any idea, and I love reading the comments and stuff. You guys are just so fantastic to me. I really, really appreciate it. And this vlog has like turned into something that I just had I never thought it would happen at the beginning. And I just love doing it. It's fun, you know, and I get to talk about stories that I haven't like remembered in a long time and stuff. And it's only like 10:47. Tell stories that I forget. And so when I'm on here, it's very much like anybody could do it. Okay, you could turn on your phone and record yourself like as you're driving. And just what's interesting is if you would never have to show it to anybody, okay? But just act like you're doing a vlog and drive around for an hour and just talk to yourself. And what's interesting is it's very like stream of consciousness journaling. So you find yourself talking about things that you haven't talked about in a long time, or you start remembering things that you hadn't remembered before, or things that are important to you kind of like come to the surface. Do you know what I mean? So, and you know, of course it always kind of starts out of like, well, what did I do today? But I think a lot of like journaling starts that way, you know? And And it's so cathartic for me, and I've got to remember so many stories and so many just memories, remembering memories. I've had so many, like, you know, I don't know, it's just been a real blessing. And what I've gotten out of this, I never expected that I would, you know, like I never did. And so many of you that like send me pictures and stuff, and you're like watching my vlog is like you're getting ready in the morning, or, you know, like you're looking at it on your like TV screen in your house with your pets, or, you know, stuff like, I love that. Like, I don't know. People ask me all the time, like, if you could only keep one channel, what would you keep? Maybe it would, you know, lately I've been feeling more and more like it would be this channel. I think when I did that in the Q&A, I kind of said that. But like every channel is different for me. You know, every channel like exists for a different reason for me. And, but like if tomorrow I stopped vlogging completely, I don't know what like that would be like for me. Like the Peter Monn channel is fun because I have fun with that channel, you know, and I get to watch videos that, you know, maybe I wouldn't normally watch and comment on them, or flip a fan and read a magazine, or, you know, bring up old songs. And I really do like think about the songs that I'm going to sing a lot of times, you know, but often, today I sang a Bruce Springsteen song. I just kind of thought about whatever was on the top of my head. But a lot of times, like, I'll go through my, you know, phone and I'll like iTunes shuffle until like, and like I'll pick a song that way, you know, or, you know, and I have so much fun with it. It's like just sitting there with a friend talking about some video I watched or something that's going on. And so I have a lot of fun with that. And I get so many people that say, you know, like, oh, you make me laugh. Thank you so much. I appreciate that. And the Peterisms one is just so much fun because it's just like, I'm just sharing little stories. And, you know, it's really turned into me reading a lot of meditations and talking about how I've applied those same things in my life. It's just not that deep. You know, it's very much like, the Peterisms thing is like very much like me sharing in a meeting. Like that's really how it feels to me at times. Like me sharing in a meeting. And then of course the BookTube channel I just love, you know, like just being part of that community. And this month being, you know, asked to be part of a readathon and stuff, it's just been like I'm just, my dreams come true, you know. I mean, seriously, like I always wanted to do that. And I don't know, it's just been, even just getting tagged in a book tag on there, you know, by somebody, it's like, wow, like that's pretty cool, you know. And reading books that I would never have read if it wasn't for that. There's so many books I never would have read if it hadn't been for that channel, you know. I don't think like the Harry Potter books, or definitely not Ernest Cline, Ready Player One, I wouldn't have read that, you know. Dumplin', like I probably would have read that. That's something that you know, the Julie Murphy books I probably would have read because those are very similar. This car is like literally like sitting, like if I move up, he moves up. If I move back, he moves back. Last night was weird for drivers too, wasn't it? But you know, like a lot of the books that I wouldn't have read, I don't know that I would have ever read. I don't know that I would have heard of The Hate You Give until I started seeing it all over the place in bookstores, and I read it pretty early on, you know. Or The Underground Railroad, you know, by Colson Whitehead. Like that was such a fantastic book. And the first time that I started like listening to it on Audible, I just couldn't get into it. But like the second time, I loved it, you know. And the first time I had done it with as a buddy reads with somebody, and they didn't like it. And so when like I was kind of having a hard time getting into it and they didn't like it and they didn't finish it, I was like, well, that was my excuse not to read it. And so then when it came up again later, I was like, okay, I'm gonna give it a chance, you know. And it was fantastic. And I've read so many books like that, you know. Aristotle and Dante Discover the Secrets of the Universe by Benjamin Alire Sainz, who is now one of my all-time favorite authors. You know, I would never have read that book, and I never would have read Last Night I Sang to the Monster, which is about a heroin addict in treatment, if I had not ever heard of him. I would never have heard of him if it wasn't for BookTube. So all of these channels to me, all the people that I've met, all of it, you know, it's just been, I don't know, it's just been life-changing for me. And I think that 2.5 years ago, I wasn't even, you know, on YouTube, or I watched YouTubers, but I didn't really feel like I was part of it. And that's where I say to people, like, if you're thinking about starting a YouTube channel, start it. Like, just start it. My God, the battery's flashing, so I guess that says that my time's limited anyway. But, you know, like, there's a lot of negative that goes along with YouTube. There really is, you know, and But there's so much positive that comes along with it too. There's so many good things that come along with it, you know, and I think it's a choice in how you choose to look at things, you know, and I don't know. All the blessings that I've had as a result of it have been fantastic, and so thank you for watching the videos and stuff. And I always get so deep at the end of my vlogs. Why, Peter, do you do this to us? Well, the battery's about to die, so I'm gonna get off here. It's flashing. I charged the hell out of that battery before I left. I don't understand it. So, well, I have been vlogging over an hour now, so. But in the comment section below, I want you to put your favorite Halloween treat. I want to know. I was seeing this candy apples, not candy apples from the candy apples at Dance Moms, not her, but real candy apples at this really expensive like candy store here. And I almost wanted to go in and get them. And I thought that's gonna probably be a $15 candy apple. I don't need that kind of candy apple. But anyway, do you guys like candy apples? Oh, they're hard to eat though, aren't they? So anyway. Let me know what your favorite Halloween October treat is in the comment section below. I hope you guys are having a fantastic Wednesday. Is it Wednesday for you tomorrow when you're watching this? Yeah. Hope you guys are having a fantastic Wednesday. I love you, and I will see you tomorrow. Bye.